The brothers.
So since the world is ending right now, we've been going through past consoles to try to tell future excavators which games they should be playing. Because, like, humanity's about to end, right?
Well, and to be fair, we thought it was going to end on our last video.
Yeah.
But that was a false alarm. We're pretty sure it is ending now.
This is it.
This is it.
So we want to make sure that future aliens, excavators, whatever, when they dig us up, they know which games to play for each system. So we're just going to continue to go through. I think we left off on PS1 or PS2 last time.
PS1, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
We're just gonna go all the way to current gen stuff. I mean, look at this. I completely let myself go. Look at this.
Dude, this
is embarrassing. I haven't shaved in weeks. I haven't showered in, I can't remember.
I haven't used deodorant in like 5 years. Wait, what does that have to do with the quarantine?
I don't know, but let's get started. So where are we going to go out to? Xbox?
OG Xbox.
OG Xbox. Here we go.
The first Xbox game that you need to play is Morrowind. And Bethesda, if you're listening, please remaster this game with faster load times and take out all the glitches. I don't even care about the graphics. I will play this game with 2002 graphics. That's fine.
I can handle bad graphics as long as it's not glitchy.
Dude, this game is so full of glitches and it crashes all the time and the load times are unbearable. Fix that stuff. You can leave the dated graphics. I don't even care. This game is so fun. It's so good. This is what got me into Western RPGs. I never played a Western RPG before this.
I neither.
I grew up on Japanese JRPG, turn-based, Final Fantasy, Chrono Trigger. I grew up on that stuff. I got this game and it changed my life. I just can't play it in 2020 because of all the glitches and the crashes.
What's next?
What's next?
Grand Theft Auto, throw it across the table.
This game changed everybody's life. And I know it came out on PS2 first, and this is probably a better version of it, I think. Anyway, it's the same game. It's Grand Theft Auto 3. So at the time, I was like, 21 years old or whenever this came out. I was working with a guy who was a video game fan, and he told me how much he was looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 3. I was like, Grand Theft Auto 3? Like, what happened to 1 and 2? Like, I had vaguely even heard of them. And he told me how much he loved 1 and 2. And I was like, okay. He literally just bought me Grand Theft Auto 3.
Wow.
Because he wanted me to play it that bad. And I thought it was a little weird, but I started playing it and I couldn't put it down. Like everybody else in 2001 or 2002, whenever Grand Theft Auto 3 was such a game changer. It was.
I remember you brought it over and you brought your whole system over, I think, to where I was living at the time. You were just like, dude, you have to check this out.
Yeah.
And even when I wasn't playing it, I was just watching you play and it was mesmerizing.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on here. You steal as many things as you want. You kill as many people as you want. And then the whole point is just to try to get away with it.
You do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We gotta speed this up here. You talk about this game.
So this game was a launch title. We all know what this is. This game changed everything. I'm telling you. We needed Halo to happen in 2001. Prior to this, every console shooter couldn't get it right. They couldn't get the controls right. They couldn't get the weapons right. They couldn't get the balancing right, the difficulty, the pacing. They screwed up everything, or they just screwed up 1 or 2 things. And so I remember playing Red Faction for the PS2, right? First person shooter. And it was one of these shooters where you could carry 10 different weapons. And it was like, okay, to scroll through your weapons, you hit the scroll button, and then this little scroll wheel comes up. Halo came out and said, no, you're getting 2 weapons at a time. There's 1 button that swaps back and forth between those 2 weapons, and that's it. And you're gonna have to make some tough decisions. You're gonna have to leave behind a rocket launcher or a sniper rifle or something that you really want, but that's the nature of the game. And by the way, every first-person shooter after Halo, they copied that formula. All the Call of Duties, guess what? 2 weapons at a time.
I don't think Call of Duty would exist if it wasn't for Halo.
I don't think it is.
Just saying.
And I still love this game. I really honestly do. I know it's kind of shovelware and you find it everywhere at garage sales. I love this game. I have every level memorized.
Okay, well, we got to move on. So I guess we're kind of we're gonna just share our 3 favorite OG Xbox games.
Sure.
I never had the system when it came out, so I don't really have very much authority to say this game is great or this game isn't. So we're just gonna go with Andy on this one. So
Going with Andy.
and right now, let's go to one of my favorite consoles of all time, the Xbox 360.
Yes.
Let's do it. So since the end of the world is nigh, we're gonna speed things up here. Andy has.
Speaking of the end of the world,
Speaking of the end of the world, Fallout 3. I'll let Andy talk about this game.
I adore this game. This was another one of those. I never played any of the first 2 Fallouts. I think they were PC games.
I mean, who did?
They were old, but Bethesda, I believe how it works is Bethesda bought out the brand.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't make the first 2, but they bought out the brand and they turned it into one of their like open world Elder Scrollsy type of game. But instead of like medieval, it's post-apocalyptic. It's so good. It's my favorite Xbox 360.
Wow, really?
Favorite
Your favorite
Xbox.
one?
Yep.
Okay.
Favorite
Okay.
Xbox 360 game.
Here are my all-time favorite Xbox 360 games. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. We talked about Halo, really the Halo franchise being the reason that Call of Duty exists. This game, I still play through the campaign on this game probably once or twice a year. And it's only, a 3.5 hour campaign. It doesn't take very long
Yeah.
to get through. It's so fun. Fun isn't the word. It's satisfying.
Yes.
You get that enemy in your crosshair with the sniper rifle, and boom, and then the back of his head
Dude.
explodes, and there's blood everywhere, and he drops to the ground, and then you do it over and over and over and over again. It is immensely satisfying. That's all I want to do in life is kill people with sniper rifles. That came out wrong. How do I say this without sounding like a serial killer? I just want to kill people. This game is just perfect. It's a perfect first-person shooter.
And I know there's been a million Call of Duties since, but Modern Warfare 2 really is my favorite one.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah. The multiplayer on this. How often do you, when you come over, how
Dude.
often do we go through some of the ops in this game?
The spec ops.
Oh my goodness.
They're so
kidding
fun.
me?
Yeah. What's next?
The next game on my list is Skyrim. And this is on every system imaginable. I don't know. Is it on mobile phones now?
I don't know.
Probably. Skyrim is one of the first games that I played after I got the Xbox 360. And I know that sounds crazy, but I was way late in the game on the Xbox 360. I just went online and looked at reviews, and I'm like, what game do people like? And this had just come out. And I just drove down to GameStop and I bought it. I remember it was snowing that day. I don't know why I remember that. And I drove down to GameStop and I walked in, and there's nobody there. You know, when it snows here, nobody goes anywhere, right?
I'm surprised they were open.
And I just walked in. I'm like, I want to buy Skyrim. And they're like, oh, here you go. Here's Skyrim. And I
right.
came home and I started playing it. 250 hours later, I beat Alduin. The choices you can make and the variety of decisions that they allow you to make. And I mean, you never play the same game twice.
That's what I love about it. Is the variety. You're right. You never play the same game twice. I've gone through this game twice now, I believe.
3 times for me.
The next time I go through it, it'll be almost a completely different experience.
This game taught me to work on my speechcraft, which helps with garage sales.
Yes.
Work on your speechcraft. You can murder everybody in Whiterun. And if you have good speechcraft, when the guards come up to you, you can just be like, well, I'm good. And they'll be like, okay, sorry to bother you. Have a nice day. When you're at a garage sale and they tell you they don't have any video games,
You can murder them.
You can, yeah. Or you ask them to bring out their N64 games.
That's a better idea.
Well, they won't bring it out. Keep working on it. Just keep working on it.
Yes.
Anyway, Skyrim is one of the greatest games of all time.
It really is.
It might be my favorite game on the Xbox 360.
Yes.
Except for the fact that this game exists. Red Dead Redemption. You know, as a kid growing up, I mean, maybe I'm older than most people watching this video, but there was always something really magical about a cowboy, you know?
Yeah.
And just walking around town with a 6-shooter on your side, you know, going to a saloon, get into gunfights, whatever. And this game let you live out all of that stuff. And the end of it was amazing. It was one of the only games I've ever played in my life when this game ended, I was legitimately crushed and disappointed just because I didn't want it to end. It was an amazing ending, but I did not want this game to end. I was having so much fun with this game. So those are my 3 favorite games on the Xbox 360. And one of these days, I will go through Fallout 3, I promise.
Yeah. What's next?
What is next? Should we do the PS2?
The Wii?
I think we need to do the PS2.
PS2, the best-selling system of all time. First game is Gran Turismo 3. Now, this is a lot like 1 and 2, but for me, it took 1 and 2 and it just made everything better. The graphics were better, the cars were better, the control was better. I 100% of this game. I got every license possible.
I came close. Yeah.
I did everything there is to do in this
I played this game all day, every day.
That was all I did. Yeah, and I don't play a lot of racing games either.
No, not anymore. It's almost like, it's kind of like Street Fighter 2. I played a ton of Street Fighting games, and then it was like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I haven't played a racing game since this.
Me neither.
Except for Mario Kart.
Yeah.
It's not really a racing game.
Yeah, this is fantastic.
It is
nothing else to say about it. So good.
Next game is Metal Gear Solid 2.
Metal Gear Solid 2. So I got this on pretty much launch day, or at least like launch week or whatever. I loved the first Metal Gear Solid, and of course, now I have the PlayStation 2, and this is going to be better, and I plug it in, and right away you're playing as Solid Snake, and it's this really cool mission when you're like on a boat, you know, and there's bad guys, and you're
And
just
then
like,
Psych.
yeah, this Metal Gear Solid is back, and then they go, psych, you're not going to play as Solid Snake, you're going to play as Raiden, who was this goofy blonde guy.
But the game.
So I looked past that. The game itself is legit. It is awesome. I loved it. I loved everything about it except for Raiden, but it didn't ruin it for me. And anyway,
But the game is really good.
the game holds up. It's
Let's-
awesome.
Let's move on. I've not played this game, but it's on his list. So
It's on my list because I've played it almost more than any other PlayStation 2 game out there. Don't ask me why. I'm not a big sports game guy. I mean, you know this about me.
But you do like your golf games.
I do like golf. Ever since Mario Golf on Game Boy Color, I really enjoy golf games. I really do. I don't. So I like, in real life, I like golf, but I suck at it.
Me too.
In video games, I can get good at it, and I think that's what I like about it.
Yeah, I hear
Like,
you.
I can actually be good. I can compete. 4 is so good. The characters are fun. They all had personality. The courses are great. I love this game.
I love how they spell 4.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, and the last game on our list is Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I mean, this game needs no introduction. Everyone's played it. Everyone knows it. There's probably 50 million of these things in existence. It's worth almost nothing, but the game is super fun. And I didn't grow up watching Miami Vice. I was a little too young for that show.
Sure.
But the game clearly tries to be in that universe. And I didn't know how fun that universe was until I started playing this game. And I was like, holy crap, this is awesome.
Yeah, I love driving around in a car and just changing the radio stations and hearing all that
Bliss.
classic music.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah, those are our PS2 games. I'm not a big fan of the Final Fantasy games on the PS2. And I've never played Kingdom Hearts, so sorry. So yeah, our list here, this might seem a little weird for us, but
It's kind of a short list.
this is our channel. We do what we want to do. Let's combine DS and 3DS and do that next.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we're going to combine the DS and the 3DS for our next phase of favorite games. I'll start for the 3DS, The Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds.
Yes.
This is one of Zelda, and we've talked about this before, but the franchise, as much as I love it, felt like it was getting a little stale. Everything kind of felt like the same exact MO. Okay, you got a weapon and it helps you unlock the next dungeon. You go to the next dungeon. You have to do everything in a specific order. You have to. That's how Zelda. And it wasn't like that when Zelda started. The Legend of Zelda for the NES, that's not at all what it was like. You go straight to level 8 if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And you start playing it. Like, nothing stopped you from doing that. And then the series just became very formulaic and you have to do everything in this order. And then Nintendo realized that they needed to mix it up. And so The Link Between Worlds allowed you to go through the game at whatever pace you felt like it. And the music is top notch. It's top tier Zelda music.
Yeah.
Top tier.
It's one of my favorite Zelda games of all time. It's so good.
Yeah.
I love that mechanic of being able to meld into a wall.
It's like you become a painting or something.
Yeah, like you
So
become a
good.
painting, and then you can like walk along the wall. And at first, it's a little weird, like before you understand like the application of it. But once you start using it, it's like, oh, this is awesome.
I just love the tone of the game and the lore. I love all the artwork that's just sitting on walls
Yes.
that just looks like it was drawn 1,000 years ago. It reminds me a lot of the Wind Waker if you
does.
played that.
Yep.
Yeah. And the next game on my list is going to be another 3DS game. Y'all know I love my Fire Emblem games, and Fire Emblem Awakening is what got me into the franchise. Literally, this was the first Fire Emblem game I ever played. I bought it on a whim. I didn't know anything about it. And man, I just fell in love with this game. I think the first time I went through it, it took me 45 hours. The second time, not so much once you learn the ropes. But I had never played a strategy RPG before. I'd never played Final Fantasy Tactics. I'd never played Battle Tactics Ogre or any of those games before. And this just blew me away. And honestly, this genre I now just love. And then on the DS, I'll put this on my top 3. I know this is going to sound crazy. Elite Beat Agents is phenomenal. It's one of the most addicting games I've ever played in my life. And if you've ever played a rhythm game before, or if you've ever played a Guitar Hero game before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's the kind of thing where you start playing it and then you sort of realize how good you need to be to finish this certain song. And then in your brain, you just go, there's no way I can ever get that good. Ever. But then you just keep playing it. And the songs are so good, you don't mind playing it because the songs are just so good. And before you know it, you are that good. It's just like Guitar Hero or Rock Band. Remember playing the guitar on Expert
Yeah.
sometimes? And you're just like, oh man, I can't even see that fast. There's no way I could ever finish that song. But the human body has a pretty amazing capacity once you train it how to do things. Your brain can
Yeah,
do
it
things
does.
that you can't even imagine.
Yeah.
And that's really what Elite Beat Agents is all about. And eventually I finished the game on Expert. I finished every song, and it was so incredibly satisfying. This is such a phenomenal game. It sounds weird. It's almost embarrassing to talk about. It's like a guilty pleasure for me, but
Yeah, nothing wrong with
Elite
that.
Beat Agents is amazing. So those are my 3 favorite games on the DS/3DS. So Andy, it's your turn.
So I will just add New Super Mario Brothers. And I know we've talked about this before. This is not my favorite Mario game. It wouldn't even make my top 10, but it is fun. It was the first 2D side-scrolling Mario game in like 10 years.
Probably a decade, yeah.
Probably since Yoshi's Island. There's some really cool stuff in this game. I love when you can turn into like Big Mario. It's challenging, but it's not too challenging. Like, I mean, I've seen kids play this game, little kids, and they can have a good time.
It's a lot of fun. I'd
Yeah.
play it again too. What's next? What should we do next? The Wii? I guess we have to get... let's combine the Wii and the Wii U.
Here we go.
All right. Neither of us are like big fans of either system. I think Nintendo really phoned it in on a lot of these. And I don't even like the name of a lot of these games because they like Mario Kart. They just call it Mario Kart Wii. You know? Smash Brothers on the Wii U. They call it Smash Brothers Wii U. That's literally the name of the game. How stupid is that? Like, remember when Smash Brothers used to be like Melee and Brawl? Like, it had cool names. First game on my list is Super Mario Maker for the Wii U. I know this is out on Switch. I have not played the Switch version, but I put a ton of hours into this game, probably more than any Wii U game by far. There's just something so addicting about creating your own Super Mario Brothers level. I couldn't get enough of it. I had to get an extra power cord so that I could sit on my couch away from the the charge station because my tablet kept running out of battery. I mean, that's how much I played this game.
Yeah. No, it's great. And I love being able to play other people's levels that they've created.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost gives you an unlimited possibilities in a Super Mario Brothers style of gameplay.
This is a desert island game if there ever
Oh,
was
yeah.
one. If your desert island had Wi-Fi,
Yes.
which most of them do, I'm sure. The other Wii U game that's on both of our lists is Yoshi's Woolly World. And this is my favorite Yoshi game other than Yoshi's Island on the Super
Yeah,
Nintendo.
me too. Yeah. I actually like this one better than the Switch version.
Yeah, this game controls so well, and it's so beautiful to look at.
It is. I know. It looks real. Like these.
Who'd have thought the yarn could look
know.
so good?
I know, but it's it's the Wii U. It's HD, and
Yeah.
it looks really good. It plays great. It's fun puzzles. I mean, I don't know. I like it.
Everything you could want
Yeah.
in a Nintendo game.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. The next game on my list, I got to put a Guitar Hero game
right.
somewhere on this list. I played almost every Guitar Hero / Rock Band game imaginable. I've talked about this series before, how much I love it, and it's another example of what your brain and your body is really capable of.
Yeah.
Because when I first started going through this game, I would amp up the difficulty, and then I would play a level, and I would go, "Oh, I could never do this." Like your mind just goes, "No, I can't do this. I will never be able to do this." And then before long, you're playing on expert, and you're playing that song that you couldn't even do on medium before.
Yep.
And now you're playing on expert, and you're 100%ing it, or 5 stars. Like, it's incredible what you're capable of. The set list on Guitar Hero 3 in particular is my favorite. I mean, it's got one by Metallica. I mean, Through the Fire and Flames. Are you kidding me? I love Rock Band so much in Guitar Hero.
So
Whatever.
yeah, I have to confess, I got into the Rock Band craze back in the day. I never really planned on it, but I was at a friend's house and they had it set up, and it was just like, okay, I guess I'll try this out. And then like the next thing you know, it's 2:00 in the morning, and you're sitting there like,
You're describing every day for me for years. That's all I did. The other two for me are the Mario Galaxy games, and I know there's 2 of them. And on paper, I shouldn't love these games as much as I do. I just shouldn't. They're, it's similar formula. It's okay. Now you got to go find this star on this level or this goal or whatever you have, whatever you call it. And it's been done so many times. But there's something about these games that just it's not only the fun gameplay, but it's the tone. It's just how everything feels. It's how the overworld feels, and it's how each level feels. And the music, the soundtracks that they did for these games, they just totally knocked it out of the park. And when I mentioned earlier that it felt like Nintendo was like phoning it in on a lot of stuff during the last decade, I have a feeling that these are the 2 games that, like, all of the talent at Nintendo, this is what they were doing. That's just my own opinion. I have nothing to really back that up on except for how great these games are. That brings us to current gen. So
we made it.
We made it. We're here. This is what we've all been waiting for. Both of us own a Nintendo Switch. I have a PS4, and Andy has an Xbox One. So that's our situation with current gen stuff. So
I don't play a ton of current gen. I mean, I play the Switch a lot just because it's so good.
so much to play on it.
But Xbox, PlayStation, I don't play much current gen stuff in that area. I don't know.
I play a fair amount of PS4 stuff, so I'm just going to go through some of these games real quick because I think they're incredible. And this is a cross-platform game. I think it's even on the Switch.
It is. I have it on Switch.
Doom. Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes. It's very good.
This game is... And the sequel just came out, Doom Eternal, which I
just came out like a few days ago.
Yeah. I freaking love Doom.
Yeah.
I played this game on the PS1. It was the first Doom I had ever played on the PS1 as a teenager.
That was a good port at the time.
And it was really good.
Yeah.
And, I have to admit, I haven't really played it since. And this came out, and I picked it up, and satisfying is probably the one word that I can say about this game. And it has an arcade mode. If you just want to blow off some steam, you got a half hour to kill on a Saturday or whatever, and you just want to shoot a bunch of demons, dude, put in this game and turn on the arcade mode, and I dare you not to have an amazing time.
Yeah.
I love all 4 Uncharted games. The 4th one, for my money, is the best one. The story in this game is just so good, and it just really brings all the characters together, and the ending is just so good. I don't even want to spoil it, so I'm going to stop talking about it, but if you've never played an Uncharted game, you really are missing out. And there's a whole trilogy on the PS4 too, but this is my favorite, is Uncharted 4. And then, in the same style of gameplay, is the new Tomb Raider games. Do not sleep on these games, people. Tomb Raider has been out for decades, and we have both talked about old Tomb Raider games and how awful they are and
they're
how
trash.
much we hate them, and they're such garbage. The new Tomb Raider games are outstanding. I love them. I didn't care for Shadow of the Tomb Raider. This one and then the Definitive Edition Tomb Raider are... I just went through this again, actually. Just a couple of days ago, I finished it again for the second time. And I'll go through it again someday. It's incredible.
Yeah, I have the Definitive Edition for the Xbox One.
Okay, yeah. I can't say enough great things about this game.
Yeah.
It's... For my money, I like it better than Uncharted. And I know that's heresy for a lot of people, but the difference is this game feels more open world, even though it's not like, Breath of the Wild open world, but I mean, it allows you to go more places. And when you're in those places, it just allows you to explore more and find more stuff. And the Uncharted games where the story, I think, is better, they're just very, very linear, and it's just go straight through. This game is not about going straight through. And if you do, you can always fast travel and go back and find more stuff. And it's just so much fun. I could talk about this game all day. The Witcher 3. You ever play The Witcher 3?
I have.
You have? Okay. One of my all-time favorite games. When I first played through this game, honestly, I thought maybe I liked it better than Skyrim. I don't know. I could go either way on that right now. The story in this game, I'm going to say, is better than Skyrim. The only real drawback compared to Skyrim is that I don't think there's a way to go through this game multiple times and have different experiences like you can in Skyrim, because you're playing the same character. You're playing Geralt, and he's a great character, and all the characters are great, and it's a blast to play, and it's open world, and it's a masterpiece. Speaking of open world masterpieces, how many Rockstar and Bethesda games have been on our list?
Ever since the Xbox, the OG Xbox, is just full of them.
I mean, in terms of Western developers, is there anyone who's doing a better job than Rockstar and Bethesda in the last 2 decades? Bethesda fell from grace, but that's a different topic. Grand Theft Auto 5 is just... this sounds crazy to say. It has kind of ruined all other Grand Theft Auto games for me. This game looks and sounds so good. It's so perfect. And in terms of just blowing off steam, oh man, just put in this game and just start killing people. Admit this. You want to go kill people.
Right?
Okay, I sound like a serial killer when
There's
I say that out
no getting
loud.
around it, though. It's just fun. Killing is fun.
I've put hundreds of hours into this game, and I just can't get enough of it. So that's the PS4. We got one more console to get through. We're going to do this quickly.
Okay.
It's the Nintendo Switch, so here we go.
Here we go.
Okay, we're on the Nintendo Switch. I'm going to start with Fire Emblem Three Houses. I don't know why you're not getting into this series, because I've been telling you for years.
I know. Look, I own like 5 Fire Emblem games. I just can't seem to bring myself to start
Did you get your act together?
I'm trying.
This is embarrassing. This game might even be better than Awakening for me personally. It's just huge. It's massive. There's 3 houses, as the name says, and I played through all 3 of them back to back to back. I couldn't get enough of it. Over 100 hours for me in this. The character, the story, the music, the tactics, everything was a masterpiece. Everything's a 10 out of 10 in this game for me.
All right.
I absolutely love it. I can't wait to play through it again. So I'll let Andy go next.
Okay, yeah, Super Mario Odyssey. So this was the Mario game that we have all wanted for a long time. We just didn't know it. Like, previous Mario games have been kind of formulaic and like, okay, there's like 120 stars or 120 shine sprites or whatever. And a similar formula throughout the game. This game was like, okay, there's 900. 900 moons to get, and some of them are very easy, some of them are really hard, and the level design is so perfect in this game because the levels aren't that big, seemingly. And then you go to the pause menu or whatever where they show you how many moons are in that level and then like how many you have. Some levels have like, 30 moons in them. And you're just like, dude, I've been everywhere there is to go. Yeah. Where are these? But they're just there. Some of them are hiding in plain sight.
It's like a giant Metroidvania in a way.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I love it. I can't. I'm actually playing through it again. I played through it. I got over 600 moons the first time when it came out, and I'm playing through it right now, only for the second time. And I kind of wondered, like, do I really love it this much? Because I remember really enjoying it. And I'm playing through it right now, and I can say that, dude, I freaking love this game.
It's so good.
It's quickly becoming one of my all-time favorite Mario games. Maybe top 3.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think so too. So
All right.
yeah,
what
let's move
is the next game on our list? So, if you've watched this channel at all, you know that both of us love our JRPGs.
Yeah.
Am I right? And to be more specific, turn-based JRPGs.
old school, like
Yes.
before all the polygon graphics took over and made everything a giant cutscene.
Exactly. Ask Tada Collector. He loves turn-based RPGs.
Loves them.
He can't get enough of them.
Yeah.
But I freaking adore this game. The music is just heavenly. It's
I
like
love
Uematsu just came out of retirement. Even though he didn't compose the music, it sounds like Uematsu.
It's so good. I love the soundtrack of this game. I love every part of this game. I went all the way through it, and then I just recently started going through it again. I just couldn't help myself, and it's every bit as good as I remember.
I want to play this game again so bad.
Such a good game. I love all of it. It is kind of grindy, but it's fun grindy.
I love fun
It's
grinding.
fun.
Oh, it's so fun.
The music is probably my favorite soundtrack over the last decade.
Probably.
At least. Play Octopath Traveler.
Yes.
I love Celeste so much. So this is a limited run game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might just take this home with me. I love Celeste. So you play as Madeline and you climb this mountain. It's called Celeste Mountain. And the challenge progresses in this game at such a good pace. It's probably the best pacing of any game I've ever played in my entire life. It's so good. Like, you'll get to a level and they'll introduce a new mechanic and your first reaction is like, oh dude, this is way too hard. I can't do this. There's no way. You start playing it and you die a lot. And I mean a lot. Literally
Thousands of times.
thousands of times you will die. And that's okay. They made a new level in this game. It came out about 6 months ago. It was totally under my radar. I didn't even know it happened until recently. So I've been playing that level now. And it's super hard. Like every single screen takes me like an hour to get good enough to beat that one screen to go on to the next screen. But it's so fun. I adore Celeste. The soundtrack. Oh, people, listen to the Celeste soundtrack. The girl who composed it, I forget her name. She's got a YouTube channel. You can go listen to all her stuff for free. It is bliss. I love it.
The very last game on our list
Man,
is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
if you don't play any other game that we've mentioned in this whole series, listen to me, future excavators, play Breath of the Wild.
I'm trying to formulate a sentence.
It's hard
but
to compose
I'm getting
yourself.
all emotional here.
Right?
And Nintendo brought it all back with Breath of the Wild. I can't say enough great things about this game. When I first started playing this, I actually took 3 days off of work. And so I wrapped it around a week and I had 5 days in a row where I just played this game all day, every day.
Wow.
And it was just, it took over my life for so long. And then you can't quite get there. It's like, oh, how do I get there? How do I, and then just, look, I know it doesn't have the classic dungeons that everybody seemed to have wanted, but let me tell you, I think the dungeon formula was getting stale. I really believe that. And I think this game was just perfect.
Well, they took like 8 dungeons worth of puzzles and they just chopped them up into these small slices into 120
yeah. Shrines.
shrines
Yeah.
and spread them out all over the map. And for me, I actually like that better because you're right. The whole dungeon formula was getting kind of stale. Those dungeons were getting so long. I mean, every new Zelda game, it was like starting a new dungeon was like, oh man, like what time is it? Like I'm gonna have to devote another like hour and a half
And then
to this
if
thing.
you put it down for like a week or two and then you come back to it,
You
you're
forget.
like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Just
yep.
because I'm just like, I don't know, remember what I'm doing. I don't know where to go. I don't know.
So this still has all that content of a bunch of dungeons. It's just chopped up into smaller chunks, small bite-sized chunks spread out throughout the whole land. and I like it better. It's my favorite Zelda of all time.
Mine too.
It's incredible.
The respect for the gamer. I think that's
Yes.
the number one thing that very early on I recognized. And it was, there's no fairy that's following you, that's telling you where to go constantly. And the Zelda games had really come to a point where it was like, your fairy was just like, hey, you should go here. Go talk to Saria. Go talk to...
Either
just like,
a fairy or an owl.
Yeah,
One of those
or
two,
both.
or both would just tell you everything.
There's nobody tells you anything in this game. There's no shoulder angel. There's nothing. You have to figure out everything, and you can do it in any order you want to. That's the freedom and the respect that this game gives you. It's unlike anything I've ever played before. I could talk about this game all day and all night. I can't say enough great things about it. We have to end this sometime. So what we should do right now is take all the greatest games that we've talked about and pile them up and do a battle royale style as fast as we can.
Let's do it.
Let's do this. So if you're going to come into this room and you're going to excavate this in 1,000 years, whatever you can grab in 2 arms, or if you've grown a 3rd arm by then, this is what you're going to grab.
So let's grab some top 10 material real
Okay,
quick.
what's top 10? Nope.
Yes.
Yes.
Final Fantasy.
Yes. I have so many top 10 games. You have 20 games in your top 10.
So are we really doing this? Is this the top 10 games of all time?
I think we did it. I think I've got...
We have more than 10 though. We have to come up with 10.
Well, we each have 10, right?
No, we have to come up with 10 collectively.
Is Symphony of the Night in the top 10?
I'm going to say no. I love Symphony of the Night, but it's not a top 10 for
top
me.
10. Okay, well, Breath of the Wild?
Yes.
Yes. Skyrim?
Yes.
Yeah. Red Dead Redemption?
I'm going to say no, but I'm not going to fight you if you want it.
Final Fantasy 3?
Without question.
Super Mario World?
Slam dunk.
Okay. Super Metroid?
Another slam dunk.
Slam dunk. A Link to the Past?
You even have to ask me this.
Again, I don't have to ask. So what do we have? 12 games in our top 10?
Oh man, what's gonna get cut?
Do we have to make some cuts? I don't know.
I think we do. We have to do top 5. Because what if aliens only have like one small hand in the future?
That's true. They might.
Maybe they can only grab 5 games.
Super Metroid?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, here, Gladiator style. Hold up
Gladiator.
another one.
Final Fantasy 3?
There it is. Okay.
Symphony of the Night?
Top 5?
Okay.
No.
Super Mario World? Is this list all Super Nintendo games?
I guess.
Super Mario 64.
Ooh, in the top 5?
Yeah. And look at what else we have to work with here.
Man, that's tough. Oh man, I hate thumbing down Mario 64.
You're killing me. Link to the Past?
I have to.
Okay,
I
well
have
now we're
to.
at 4. And Banjo, we're going no. I'll agree that's not top 5. I'm going not top 5
I'm
for
going no.
The Legend of Zelda. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, not top 5.
I love you, Punch Out.
Red Dead Redemption, not top 5.
No.
Skyrim,
I'm gonna say no.
I'm going to say no. Breath of the Wild, yes.
So this is the top
This
5
is-
games of all time.
These are the top 5 games of all time. We have Super Metroid,
Man.
Super Mario World, 2 Zelda games, and Final Fantasy 3.
How can I argue with that? 4 of them are Super Nintendo.
4
What?
Super Nintendo. This is why we love the Super Nintendo so much, by the way.
How's that possible?
What's the greatest single game of all time?
Oh, so now our alien has like one finger,
Yeah.
and he can only carry one game. Let's do a top 2 first. Let's narrow it down to
So
2.
are we going to agree on this, do you think?
I know what I'm picking.
Okay, here's my top 2 games of all
That
time.
was what I was gonna pick. That was exactly
Clear
what I
them
was
out of
gonna
the
pick.
way. Battle Royale.
Oh man.
We've got 2 very different games.
Oh, this is tough.
We've got Breath of the Wild and Final Fantasy 3.
The top 2 games of all time.
All time. And both of us agree on this, by the way. Okay, Andy.
Without even thinking about it.
Without even thinking about it, I'm going to give you 2 seconds.
Ugh.
On the count of 3, you got to pick one. 1, 2, 3, go.
Breath of the Wild.
There it is. The greatest game of all time.
Greatest game of all time.
I love this game so much.
It's so
Can we make them work? Those alien hands that are really tiny.
yeah, aliens
they
figure
can
this
fit
out.
it.
All right?
They can carry both.
Yeah.
You're gonna need a Super Nintendo,
Dude.
though.
We died of coronavirus. The least you can do is figure out how to pick up 2 games at a time.
Take both of these games with you, Aliens.
Yeah. May the force be with you.
Thank you.